Okay, one other concern before you. Social media is, of course, a way where people share all kinds of things these days. How ready is the Nigeria police on social media to engage with any Nigerian who may have a concern anywhere in this nation?
If you've been following our social media handles, you actually see that we've upped our games on the social media lane or in the social media world. The police Twitter handle is active, and part of the strategies we're also adopting beyond what NBC and NCC and other regulatory bodies are doing to contain the negative incidences of fake news is also to make sure that at our own level we continue to remain actively engaged, just like being in this studio, just like making sure that we continue to push out timely information on our social media handles and being able to respond timely to inquiries from the media houses, both the new media as well as the traditional media, because we believe that as long as we remain ahead of them, we remain ahead of the mischief makers, we will be able to actually push the messages ahead of them, take control of the space, and direct the narrative. By so doing, we're able to cut them down and reduce their chances of actually generating and spreading fake news to the barest minimum. And so we'll be deploying all our social media handles. And we also have a platform, the CRO, the Complete Response Unit, which is also out there, and a whole lot of Nigerians will be using that platform to reach us, interact with us in practically all of the social media platforms. So we continue to do this. We'll continue to improve on them. We'll continue to relate with Nigerians physically as well on the social media world.
But you want to share with us your social media handles then? Facebook, Twitter, which one?
I think the best thing for me would be at the end of this program, we'll just push them out in full.
All right, we'd like to thank you. But let me ask Mr. Uzi this particular question. Have you received a petition that says that INEC should postpone the 2019 Bauchi North Senatorial District elections pending determination of a suit at the Federal High Court?
Well, I can't say for sure because, for example, throughout today I've been on the media round, so I haven't even been to the office today. So I can't say for sure. But the parameters for the postponement of an election are very clearly spelled out in the Electoral Act, especially Section 26. And suspension pending the determination of a case where there's no injunction, I don't think falls on that purview of that. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Yeah, but Mr. Dolly, what kind of success is INEC recording with the partnership that you have with first the NURTW and FRSC?
Well, the partnership is that it's a framework. There's a memorandum of understanding we've set up with the NURTW, and that will be replicated and domesticated in the states, and all the states have reported that they've done that, they've complied with that. But also they now have to enter into a binding contract with the actual service providers. Don't forget the NURTW is an umbrella body, it's a union, and then the individual members now enter into contract with us so that they perform their duties. If they don't, or for whatever reason they don't live up to their obligations, then of course the parent body will now come in to the whole thing to ensure and discipline their members if it comes to that, in addition to other legal sanctions that may be. But it's working well. We had a meaningful meeting with a joint meeting with the police commissioners, the NURTW leaders, the president, and also the FRSC. The Commandant General himself was the commercial was there himself, and it was quite a fruitful meeting. And things on the field, so far so good, of going on as well as can be expected.
Okay, so we need to get to our correspondent, Timmy Wood, in Bayelsa State at the moment. She's got an update for us on what's happening where she is.
These individuals, hundreds of them, have been here since 6:30 a.m. this morning, looking through the list pasted by INEC, hopeful that they would see their names. They are still here, looking through the list. Now the sun is out and it is scorching, but they are still hopeful that their names will be found on the list to serve as ad hoc personnel for the elections tomorrow. The hopes of many have been dashed. Others have alleged that the process has been politicized, as those who did not partake in the training program have found their names on the list, while those that stood with INEC through the process are yet to see their names on the list. While the State Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission and the distribution of electoral materials to the different local government areas in the state is yet to begin. Shortly, we'll be speaking with the resident electoral commissioner of INEC in Bayelsa State, and he will give us updates on the process to ensure that Bayelsa State experiences a free, fair, and credible elections tomorrow. From Yenegua, Dobra Timmy Wood, Channels Television News.
Thank you, Dobra. Well, we also do have Treasurer Chikam Naya, who is our correspondent in Umuahia, that's the Abia State capital.
It is some hours to the presidential and national assembly elections. And a few minutes from now, INEC will be dispatching the sensitive materials to the 17 local government areas of the state. And what about security? The security operatives in the state have assured of crime-free, crisis-free election. Just a few minutes ago, we witnessed a show of force by the joint security operatives in the state. So what are we waiting for? It is left for the voters to go out and cast their vote for the candidate of their choice.
All right, so that's correspondent Chikam now giving us some update on what's happening in Umuahia. Well, we have to thank our guests who have found time and have indeed been patient with us here today. Mr. Oluwole Osaze, who is the Director of Voter Education for INEC. We also do have Mr. Frank Mba, who was the Force Public Relations Officer for the police force, and he's been also patient indeed, Mr. Eze. Beg your pardon? Eze Chukwuemeka, who is the Executive Director of the INEC for short. Gentlemen, we thank you all for being patient and talking to us today on the verdict. There you go, that's the show as well. This leg, this arm of it, we did tell you, is a conveyor belt of sorts. It's our continuing coverage of all things 2019 general elections. We thank you all for watching. But the verdict continues. It doesn't end. It will be on until we'll have our colleagues who will take over much later. But from us, I'm Chamberlain Usol.
And we'll still be taking your thoughts, comments, and all of the questions or things you're facing during this period, the eve up to the elections tomorrow. Hashtag the verdict, hashtag election 2019, and our email at theverdict@channelstelevision.com. I'm Millicent Walker.
And I'm Ayo Makinde. Enjoy the rest of your day.